Good morning, students. In the previous class, we discussed about the longitudinal section of flower and floral parts and importance of the different floral parts we discussed. Now we are going to discuss what are the events are occurring during the process of sexual mode of reproduction in the flower. So under the process of sexual mode of reproduction, basically three events are going to be occur in the flower. So what are the three events are going to be occur in the flower? So pre-fertilization, that is one thing. Next, fertilization, post-fertilization. These are the three important events that are to be occurred in the flower during the process of sexual mode of reproduction. So what are the events occurring is, the events occurred during reproduction. So during the process of reproduction, the first three processes are going to occur. Number one, pre-fertilization. Fertilization. Post-fertilization. So these are the three events that are to be occurred in the case of reproduction in flower. Now, what is the process occurring in pre-fertilization? So, pre-fertilization, what are the steps are occur? So, during the process of fertilization, that is pre-fertilization process, what is occurring? First thing, so as you have seen that the male gametes as well as female gametes which are formed within the same flower or different flower, they used to transfer and to combine, to fuse with the opposite gametes and to form zygote. So that process is going to be occur. So before going to occur that process, the pollen grain should be transferred from anther to the stigma. Why? Because if there is no pollen grain transformation, there is no fertilization process and there is no remaining events to be occur in the flower. So for the purpose of the fertilization, first thing, the pollen grain should be transferred. That is, we have seen. So what is the first event going to be occur in pre-fertilization is transfer of pollen grain. So from where to where it is occurring? From anther to the stigma. And this process is called as pollination. What it is called? Pollination is main process occurring in the case of pre-fertilization. So what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grain. From where to where? Anther to the stigma of a same flower of same species or different flower of same species. That is, we can call as a pollination. So transfer of pollen. Transfer of pollen. From where to where? From anther to where? Stigma. So this is stigma and this anther. These both are maybe present within the same flower of same species or same family, or these two are different, present on different flowers of same species. That is usually transfer from anther to the stigma, and this process is called as pollination. What it is called? Pollination. So what is pollination? Is transfer of pollen from anther to the stigma of same flower within the same species or same species different flower, and that process is called as pollination. So this pollination can be possibly occurred by means of two ways. So that is, one thing is cross pollination and another one is self pollination. So now we are going to discuss these two types of pollination. So the pollination occurs in two different ways. So what are the two different ways it is going to occur is self pollination. That is the one thing, and another one is cross pollination. These are two types of pollination that are to be occurred in case of flower during pre-fertilization process. So what is self-pollination? So self-pollination is nothing but This is one flower. So, in self-pollination, what is happening here? This is anther, and which consisting of powdery substance, we know that pollen grain. So, these pollen grains are male gamete producers and usually needs to transfer from anther to the stigma. That is, within the same flower, from this anther to this stigma, the pollen grain is transferred. So, in itself, so that is called as self-pollination. So, from the anther to the stigma of same flower, this is same flower, anther to the stigma of same flower. That process which we can call as self-pollination. What it is called? Self-pollination. Now, what is cross-pollination? Another method. So, under the cross-pollination, now, cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is nothing but the transfer of pollen from anther to the stigma of different flower. Here, different flower. So, crossing in between two different flowers. So, that's what it is called as cross-pollination. So, what is cross-pollination is nothing but the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of different flower. And that process is called as cross-pollination. These are the two types of pollination that are to be occurred during the process of pre-fertilization event. This is what the event is, pre-fertilization event, and this pollination is to be carried out by some agents are there. Other than this agent, there is no possibility of pollen grain to be transferred. So what are the agents are essential? So the agents are biotic agent as well as abiotic agents, which helps in transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma. So what are the agents? Agents of pollination. So biotic components, biotic agents, one of the factors, and abiotic is another important agent. These helps in transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma. As we have learned that the petals which are most attractive food, that is the one thing, and also they also used to produce scent. These all together helps in attraction of biotic components. Biotic components are attracted by means of the color of the petals, that is the one thing, and also some other insects like honey or other butterflies. Why they are going to be attracted? Why? Because the plants are able to produce a sugary substance, as we know that. So which is called as nectar. That is basically produced by the plants. For the collection of the nectar, the insects are flying towards the flower. Once they enter into the flower, they used to carry the pollen from anther to the stigma. That is what some of the biotic components that helps in transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma, like animals. Even we also, if we find any colorful flowers, we used to attract it towards them and we used to pluck. During the process of plucking the flowers, they may causes the falling of a transfer of pollen grain to the stigma. So animals are also one of the factors, and insects. As we know that insects, they used to collect the nectar, honey from the flower. So for the purpose of the nectar, they enter into the flower, they collect, and they used to transfer the pollen from anther to the stigma. That is the one thing. And abiotic components like wind, water, that is rain. These are the other factors that are also playing a key role in the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma. So we can take air also another factor, and also water also another important factor, which helps in transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma. This is what Some of the agents are also playing a key role in the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma, and which these the transformation of pollen grains and the types of pollen grains which we can study under the pre-fertilization. Next, what is happening here after pre-fertilization? So after pre-fertilization, next event is going to occur is fertilization. So what is fertilization? Where is occurs? That we are going to discuss now. So during the process of fertilization, so what is fertilization? Fusion of male gamete and female gamete to form a diploid cell, that is zygote. That process is called as fertilization. So what is fertilization means? Fusion of male gamete plus female gamete and to produce a diploid cell, that is called as zygote, and that process is called as fertilization. Now where this process is occurring, how it is occurring, now we will discuss. Now we are going to discuss fertilization process. So what is happening here during the fertilization process? During fertilization, as we know that the pollen grain is transferred. Now pollen grain is reached onto the stigma. So here not only single pollen grain will be transferring to the stigma. So why? Because more number of pollen grains are produced from the anther. So out of that, so many number of pollen grains which are reached onto the stigma, all of them not able to produce male gametes. So only a single pollen grain, so which get matures, and by taking nutrients from the stigma, it starts production of a tube called as pollen tube. This is pollen which is transferred. Now from this pollen, so a tube-like structure is developed, and which is called as pollen tube. So pollen tube it is called. Now this pollen tube starts traveling through this style and reaches to the ovary. Now the pollen tube is reached to the ovary. Now this pollen grain which is found on the stigma is able to produce two non-motile cells, means they do not show any type of movement. So these two cells are called as male gametes. So through this pollen tube, the male gametes are followed along with the growth of the pollen tube, but they are not showing any kind of movement. Now once the pollen tube reaches to the ovary, it starts growing into the embryo. So there is a small opening called as micropyle. The small opening which is found, it is called as micropyle, where the pollen tubes start entering into the ovary. Now, the pollen tube which is entered into the ovary, the direction is indicated by the two helping cells called as synergid cells. So, what the two cells are called? Synergid cells, these two are called. And what is the use of the synergid cells? So these synergid cells gives the direction, the movement of the pollen tube into the ovary. That is the important function of two cells. And this middle cells which is present is called as actually female gamete. It is called as female gamete. So female gamete it is. Now this pollen tube which is grown into the ovary, it start releasing its two gametes. These two are the male gametes which are released. Male gametes are released. Now, out of these two male gametes, one gamete start fusing with the female gamete. One male gamete fuses with the female gamete. This is one process occurring. So, one male gamete is going to fuse with the female gamete and forms as zygote. And this zygote formation which is occurring is with one male gamete, and another male gamete which is found here, it combines with and the two nucleus is there, dinucleus condition nucleus. This is one. So another male gamete, second male gamete fuses with the nucleus and it forms primary endosperm. So this is another fertilization is occurring. So in general, during the process of fertilization, one male gamete should fuses with another female gamete and to produce zygote. But in case of flowers, so one male gamete is fusing with female gamete to produce zygote, and another male gamete is also able to fusing with the nucleus and form primary endosperm. So overall, in the case of flower, there are two types of fertilization is occurring. That's what it is called as double fertilization process. What fertilization it is? Double fertilization. So first fertilization is male gamete fuses with female gamete to form zygote. Another male gamete combines or fuses with the nucleus to form primary endosperm. So these two events are occurring within the flower, and that's what it is. In case of flower, it is called as a double fertilization process is going to be occur. Now these three cells, antipodal cells, they are going to be degenerate or disappears after the fertilization. So this is what we can see the event that is usually occurs in case of flower during fertilization process. So what is occurring in fertilization of the flower is, first of all, the pollen grain which is transferred onto the stigma after getting maturity, means after getting the nutrients from the stigma, it start production of pollen tube. Once the pollen tube start produced, it start releasing male gametes. Two male gametes are produced, and this pollen tube starts growing into the ovary through the micropyle, small opening cord. Now the pollen tube direction is indicated by the synergid cells, and it releases, the pollen tube releases two male gametes into the ovary. One male gamete fuses with a female gamete to produce zygote, and another male gamete fuses with a nucleus to produce a primary endosperm, and which are going to be occur in the flower during the process of fertilization. This is what two fertilization events are occurring in the flower, so it is called as double fertilization process. This is what fertilization. Now we are going to discuss about post fertilization. So what is occurring after fertilization process? What are the changes are occurred? Now after post fertilization, what is happening here? So first of all, calyx, that is sepals. Next, corolla, that is petals, usually fall off. This is the first process occurring. So what is the first event occurring during the process of post fertilization is the calyx as well as corolla is going to be fall off. As yesterday I said that in some case of vegetables, the sepals are going to be persisted up to their degrading condition. That is persisting sepals, calyx. We can take brinjal. In the brinjal we have seen still it is having the calyx. That is what we are seeing. And mirchi also we are plucking out. That is also calyx. That is what in case of some vegetables we can see that after fertilization calyx also still remains. That is called as persisting calyx. It is called. That is the first event occurring during post fertilization. Next, another event what is happening here. Now the zygote develops into embryo. That is what. And this embryo, during the development of embryo, there is a connection which is formed in between the ovary and the flower wall. That is called as placenta, that able to supply the nutrients to the development of the embryo. So placenta is developed, that supplies the nutrients for the development of the embryo. That is the one thing is occurring. And next, the primary endosperm. Primary endosperm, which is also called endosperm, develops into endosperm, and this supplies the nutrients during the seedling, during the process of development of a new plant from the seed. For the growth of the new plant, the energy is provided by the endosperm. That is what we can see, supplies the nutrients. Supplies the nutrients for seedling. That is what is another event occurring. And next, ovary develops into fruit. That is one thing. Ovule develops into seeds. So the number of seeds depends on the number of ovules present in the ovary. That is what. And next, another event, the ovary wall, it develops into fruit wall. That is also called pericarp. These are the various events that are to be occurred after the process of post fertilization. This is what. So after post fertilization, the calyx and corolla, they are going to be fall off. Whereas in case of some vegetables like brinjal, we have seen sepals are still remains, that they are called as persisting calyx. Next, zygote is usually develops into embryo, and this embryo is connected to the ovary by means of a connection is called as a placenta, which supplies the nutrients. That is one thing. And primary endosperm develops into endosperm, and which supplies nutrients for development of the seedling. And next, ovary develops into fruit, ovules develops into seeds, and ovary wall develops into fruit wall. These are the various events that are to be occurred during the process of post fertilization. This is the what we can see. After post fertilization, what is happening here? Now seedlings start developing into new plant. That is what? Seed germination. So seed germination is another important event. Why? Because after all the process of fertilization, the seeds should be developed into new plant. That is called as seed germination. So seed germination is going to be occurred. During the process of seed germination, so what is happening here? So if you take a dicot plant, which consisting of, so two cotyledons are present. So from that you can see the germination of seed and develops the primary root, which is called as radicle, and the primary shoot, and which is called as plumule. This is what we can see, that the seeds start germinating, and during the process of germination the energy is supplied from the seed, which are called as cotyledons. From that we can see the development of the primary root called as radicle, and primary shoot is called as plumule, and which in turn grows into new plant. This is what, this way we can see that fertilization, after fertilization, seed germination, all the events are going to be occurred in the case of. So this is what the events that are occurred during reproduction of a flower, which we have discussed.